Yes, we're back on. Go ahead, Steffon. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let me start stating the facts of this case now. Now, the question is, how me performing CPR on my mom to try to save her life cracked her ribs.
There's some feedback. We're having some feedback from your end.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. Okay, but okay.
Is it better now?
No, there's feedback, but you can go ahead if you want. But there's feedback. It's not.
There's feedback.
Yeah.
Is it like hearing me twice or something like that?
No, it's static in the background. Static.
Oh, it's static.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Okay, but you can go ahead and because
Yeah. It's still static.
Yes.
Well, then I'll focus on when I call back again. I'll focus on the serious aspects of this case because what I was discussing before, and what I should start with is that this case, and my lawyers do agree. Imagine having overwhelming evidence. That's the understatement. And when they say overwhelming evidence, I'm talking about, like I said, 200,000 videos, me contacting social services, and everything I said from the beginning of this case to the end is true. They could not prove that I lie at any given time. But, excuse me, I believe, personally, and I said this to my lawyers, how can you trust the police with any evidence knowing that they lied about the most important aspect of the evidence, and in this country they call it perverting course of justice, to win a case so that they can put away someone that they're innocent. They know, I mean, it's not questioned, they know I'm innocent. It's not that I am saying it, they know it. Because the evidence they were given the evidence. Everyone knows, everyone I dealt with in terms of law firms, they all knew I was innocent. I didn't do it. But whereas I thought, being so naive, that you could prove that you didn't do it, so I should be, going to court, they should drop the charges. But the judge, oh my God, when the police stood there and said, yes, Your Honor, we did edit the 999 call after denying it, the judge went quiet, and then he then said, is there anything else missing from this 99 call? And then I was with shock. And I look at my lawyer, she kept her head down. She didn't even look at me, she kept her head down. And nothing was done. But the judge was so scared about this coming up in trial. The fact that the police had tampered evidence and he did nothing. He was more worried about what's happening with him than anyone else. So what he did, he gave me, an okay closing summary of the facts of the case. Because summary, is important. It's just like me saying to you, well, okay, since this case started, I was exonerated in the first investigation at my house by the police. They're saying no suspicious death here. Here's the number. Making arrangements. I had a week to myself. Then they arrested me a week later. And the question still remains, and it's very important. How can I go from being a non-suspicious death to suspicious death? What? Did they find something? Did they miss something? Oh, they removed evidence. There's a police officer by the name of Stacy Hallowell. She was responsible for handing over all the medical background of my mom to the pathologist. She neglected to hand over the medical document that's on the 18th of February to show that my mom went to hospital because she had a fall in the bathroom and she had 4 to 7 right rib fractures, healing fractures, and her ribs. Yeah, and that document was on the 18th of February. I came back to the hospital 10 days later because, like I mentioned before, I noticed that when we first went to the hospital in February, not only did my mom have these rib fractures and dislocated shoulder, but she was in stooling for the last couple of weeks. So So we gave her laxatives after she left the hospital on the 18th. We doubled the doses. Nothing happened. So I was concerned about that. So I called them again and spent 45 minutes on the phone trying to convince them to take my mom back in the hospital. But because I didn't start with the fact that she fell again, I should have started with that if I knew. I spent 45 minutes on the phone, and I told them, yes, she had another phone. Then they called the ambulance, and then they came and took her back to the hospital. But when we got to the hospital, they were more focused on the fact that she fell again than the fact that she has a stool for almost a month. So, and I told them about how her breath is corroded, and that when she talks, it's like, you can really smell it on her breath. So, lost my thought again. So, on the 8th of February, we went back on the 1st of March. They performed another X-ray on my mom's chest. And this is 10 days later. So, instead of saying now, well, okay, we did another X-ray, and the first X-ray speaks about the fractures on her ribs. Now, all of a sudden, there's no fractures. That was clearly a mistake made by the hospital. My lawyers did nothing, tried to ascertain why this grave mistake was made. But because this mistake was made, the police used it to their advantage. They had two documents. Stacey Well had two medical documents. The 18th of February and the 1st of March. Her job is to hand over both documents to the pathologist so he can make an informed decision. The pathologist now, he looked at only seeing the document that stated that she had no rib fractures on the 1st of March. He now come to the conclusion, hey, wait a minute. On the 1st of March, there's no rib fractures. There's no lumbar fracture. There's no wrist fracture. But on the 8th of March, when she passed away, she had 39 fractures all over her ribs and outside her body. This must have to be a vicious attack, a vicious assault. This is how they came from a non-suspicious death to suspicious death. And if they had that document given on the 18th of February to show she already had these rib fractures, I would never be charged or arrested for murder. And it only goes to show I told my lawyers about it, I mentioned it, time and time again, they did nothing, say nothing to the court. Then, after I was put to the court, arrested, put into prison for remand for 4 years. And like I said, 4 years of constantly having to hear these accusations.
So wait, you did not get bail? You did not qualify for bail?
Nope, didn't qualify. Listen, every time I applied for bail 5 times, and the judge, for no reason, he couldn't use anything regarding the case to stop me from getting bail. So he looked outside. Like, for instance, in 2008, I had to make a court appearance, and I was 10 minutes late. The judge put me in a cell saying that you were late, and no respect to the court, you're late. Now, it says on my record that I failed to surrender at appointed time. So the judge cherry-picked that information and said, well, he failed to surrender, which I didn't. I failed to surrender at appointed time. I was late. But he stated to the court that he refused my bail because I failed to surrender back in 2008.
Wow, okay.
So, the second bail application now, I made sure my lawyer produced to him and show, well, hey, he did came to court, but he was 10 minutes late. But then he used my son's case to stop me from getting bail again. So, the third bail now, we brought up the fact, well, there was no violence in my son's case. All I did was culture stretching, and they believed that culture stretching was causing fractures at the time. And then he decided to deny me bail again, but he didn't tell me why. You understand? So I had perfect grounds for bail. I was not a threat to society, and my best friend that you spoke to, my best friend, she put up her house, her boat. She was willing to put up to £60,000 to secure my bail.
Wow.
But they knew that if I got out on bail, I'm going see, the thing about putting people in prison, especially if you live alone, they want to isolate you. It's like ready to cook you. You're the turkey that they buy in the market. They put you in the oven and bake you. Because when they put you in here, if you don't have any way to call anyone or to make any calls, you're basically done. You have to rely on your lawyers to on your behalf, and they're not doing a good job.
So is it a for-profit prison that you're in? Is it? Go ahead.
Sorry?
Is it a for-profit? Are they making a profit? Is it something?
Oh yeah. They get £180 for every prison a night, for every prison, every cell.
Oh.
And if you're a double A cat, they get double the amount of money.
Oh.
So we got a big problem over here now. We got two big problems. The police now. A lot of people are protesting against the police because the police are proven now to be racist, misogynistic, sexist, and they're demanding change from the police. Yeah, these are all men. They know that they're corrupt, but yet when we come to court, they can lie. I mean, it's amazing for me to sit down. I'm a computer engineer. I research, I buy all my cameras, set them up, and then the police officer is telling the court, "Oh, that's not a camera." When he bought this device, he came to the hard drive was missing. No, when I bought the device, I bought it without a hard drive. Then when they try to say the hard drive is missing, I show them where the hard drives are, and then he turned around and told the jury it couldn't work in this device because this is a laptop hard drive, but yet at the same time, the footage is on the same hard drive. He said it can't work with the DVR. It's called a DVR system. You put a hard drive in it, attached. It's like 6 cameras and it records 24 hours a day, up to 2 months. Yeah? So for every camera that is recorded on the other hard drive, the same thing is on this drive. And instead of talking to me or asking me, because I'm an expert on my own devices, the police lied to the jury. I mean, I come to realize that when you go to court, you put your hands on that Bible and say, "Hey, you know what? I swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth." I'm the only person in that room who have to tell the truth. The prosecutors still lie to their teeth. They can tell so many lies. And
what was the jury maker? What in terms of black and white? What was the jury maker?
The jury made up of 7 women, 4 men. You see, this is another thing. They were supposed to choose the jury in front of me.
But I didn't ask gender. I was asking about color.
Color. Sorry. Yeah. There were about 3 white folks, and the rest were Asian and Somalians.
So no black people, no blacks.
Yeah. There was 1 or 2 black people.
Oh, so Somali, the Somalians were blacks.
Yeah, Somalians are black.
But because sometimes they're from that part of Africa, but they still don't consider themselves black. So I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a situation.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to, because I was representing myself unrepresented. They went behind my back and chose the jury. They were supposed to choose the jury with me present, so I can say to the judge, "No, I know this person, or I met this person before," or determine whether they're police officers, whether they work for the civil service. There's certain people that you don't want on the jury.
So it wasn't a jury. It wasn't a jury of your peers then.
No, it wasn't. No. Like I said, the rule was they're supposed to have me there when they choose the jury. They went behind my back and choose the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was unacceptable. They took liberties. Basically, when I was representing myself, the prosecution did what I expected her to do, to cheat and to lie and to take advantage of the situation. But because the way I see it, when my lawyers are there, they're doing nothing. I do more for myself than my actual lawyers. Yeah, and I get to be heard. And then I come to realize that when you are talking in court, you're being recorded. But when you read the transcripts, they don't reflect what you say in court.
Right.
So that's another problem. Yeah. So, they talk about, they try to give off this impression that my mom, she died of blunt force trauma to the head and torso. Let me give you some information. When I was arrested, a week after she passed away, when it decided now that they're going to arrest me, state doesn't know how she died. I'm reading a document from my lawyer saying, well, she died of respiratory failure or what's on the head. And I'm saying, well, you don't even know how my mom died and you're arresting me? And then it comes to the point now that they move away from respiratory failure and say that she died of blunt force trauma to the head and torso. And yet, all of a sudden, there's no primary or secondary. You can't die of two things. It has to be one or two. It's the first or second. But they never talk about that. That's number two. And my mom actually died of cardiac arrest. When the case first started in the interview, they're saying that the blunt force on the head contributed to the cardiac arrest. But all of a sudden now, when it got to court now, they never mentioned that she died of her heart stopped, that she died of cardiac arrest. They say she died of blunt force trauma to the head. Because if they had said that, which is the facts, that we believe that the blunt force trauma to the head contributed to her cardiac arrest, then the jury can say, well, there's many reasons why she could have a cardiac arrest. There's many possibilities why she had a cardiac arrest. But they just said to the jury, she died of blunt force trauma to the head after making so many mistakes. You see, it's like a presentation. They get to go through all the mistakes and all the lies that they try to tell. And when they present the evidence to the jury at the end of the day, the jury has no clue how many things they lied about in the past and how many things they cover up and got wrong. So that they show this united front. And me, I looked at my lawyers. I showed them my statement, and every single one, I said, listen, did I lie at any given time? No, you didn't lie. You didn't lie in your statement. You didn't lie on anything. I told the truth all the time. And then, all of a sudden now, the prosecution decided, her case is so weak, he decided now to say, well, he erased information off the hard drives. And I'm saying that is such crap. I'm a computer engineer, and you have a hard drive, no matter what you risk, I can have a software that can take your hard drive and recover what you have on your hard drive. Yeah, because it's called recovery. It's a bullet deleted file. People don't like it. That's what the police does all the time. The police did not make clear to the jury what was recovery and what was there. They tried to give the impression that everything was there. Yeah, and I said no. This majority, 90% of these videos were recovery from deleted because, like I said, the DVR box I used to record that recorded his cameras to the hard drive, they only last for 2 months and then they rewrite itself. They have managed to retrieve all that information going back to 2010 or 2014. 2010 and 2011, sorry. So, there's a lot of things that they didn't get to explain to the jury and a lot of things that I didn't get to say. Because my own lawyers, they didn't do their jobs properly. Because if they had done their jobs and do what I said, I would have never been charged or convicted. They would have focused on the facts of the case. Yeah? And all the facts lead to the fact that I did not do it, that the rib fractures were caused by CPR. Now, everyone knows, I've spoken to many prisoners and doctors. I met a doctor here and a nurse, and I was saying to them, look, if someone has fractures, rib fractures, proven 19 days before they pass away, and I perform CPR, isn't a good chance that they're going to refracture? They say, yes, of course, because it's like a bridge. When you got a bridge and it's cracking and trucks and cars driving, that crack gets bigger and bigger and bigger until the bridge collapses. Just the same as ribs. I got a document here from a pathologist, and he said, an expert should be asked to comment whether CPR performed by male of these built, 6 feet tall, strong build, weight 24 stones could account for the rib fractures. I'm heavy. And then he said, with the fact that there's osteoporosis in the bones. It's common sense. Yeah? But the prosecution said, no, the rib fracture would have to be caused, the pathologist that represented the prosecution said, well, it would have to be caused by a car crash or someone falling from a building. And everyone knows that's not true when you got osteoporosis. They manipulate the jury, and I think the jury were interested because the trial lasted 3 months. And the jury was just bored out their head. They even spent 3 days talking about something called, what's the word? Modified. Modified, what it means is the biggest problem with having a, do you have a Samsung phone or do you have a iPhone?
I have an iPhone.
Yeah, well, Samsung now, they use a software called Android, sorry. And the problem with that software is, if you take a picture today with that phone, you can go into the properties and it will tell you the day it was created, and it will tell you what device created that picture.
Mm-hmm.
It would say Samsung S20, whatever, that to that picture.
Right.
Now, even when you make a video, the same thing. So when I look at the videos now given by the police, the original file was missing, gone, deleted. They only show me a modified version. So they managed to manipulate the jury and believe that I was the one that tampered with evidence rather than them, without actually saying it. Saying this was missing, giving the impression that there was no videos after the initial time of death that morning. And I'm saying, well, of course, because my mom passed away. The whole reason my cameras are up to make sure she's safe.
Right.
To monitor. Let me give you an example. There was a recording of me and the social worker making arrangements for my mom to go into the care home. And this is 2 weeks prior before she died. Unlucky for me, they came 2 days after she passed away, rather than before she passed away. Because if she had been in a care home, she passed away in a care home, then that's a different story. But anyhow, what was I saying before? Sorry.
You were talking about, I don't know, the cameras being able to tell when the picture or whatever was taken, and they were saying that you took it, you cleared it off.
Yes. So basically, so when I look at the videos now, because I knew that the first video was at 2 o'clock, because I went to the bathroom, and I checked the time, and I looked at the video. Plus, too, when my mom passed away, I was watching those videos constantly, because I was left a week to myself to grieve, and I was looking and thinking, well, what should I have done differently? Should I have just woken her up instead of just listening to what she had to say? All these questions went through my mind. So watching the videos, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Sorry, 2 o'clock, 4:03, 2 o'clock. I went to the interview with significant witness and told them the time, 2 o'clock, 4:03. When the videos now came up on the police, it is 2:23 and 3:06. And I said, those are not the correct times. Then I said that the police tampered with the evidence to my lawyer. And he looked at me and said, no, the police didn't do anything because it has a timestamp on the videos. And I'm saying, wait a second. It doesn't matter. The police edit and they put the timestamp. My videos don't come with a timestamp. A timestamp is the number that goes in the corner of the video, at the top of the video, that shows numbers going really fast, the split seconds and the seconds. Yeah? The police use a software to add it. So he argued with me for 20 minutes saying that these are authentic because they have a timestamp. Then I took the same video from my laptop and showed him that had no timestamp on it. That's when he got quiet. I've been an engineer for 27 years. I know all the tricks in the books that they would use. So, you know what the easiest way you can change the time and date on a video? The easiest way? So easy. People don't understand that. It's because I'm saying, well, the police lied about tampering with the evidence, so anything they produce is fruit for the poisonous tree. So I'm saying, well, who's to say they didn't tamper with that? But when I saw the times of the video, I knew for a fact they tampered the times of the video. I got proof when I told my lawyers. They didn't believe me. But I told my lawyers, look, 3:06, there's no way that video could be made at 3:06 because it clashed with 2 other recordings on my device. And I say, your device can only record one thing at a time because you only have one mic on your device. And it can only record. So if you're recording something, you try to record something else, they say the mic is in use or it's not possible. But yet, the video, they changed the time to 3:06, and then there's another recording at 3:06 for 48 seconds, an audio recording, and then there's another recording of a video at 3:06. Clashes, and that's impossible. So, I told my lawyers they changed the time. And I said, this is how they do it. You get the original videos. If you, let's say for instance, you take your phone now, you make an original video on a Samsung phone. Yeah, it gives you the time and date. All you have to do is go to your clock and change time to whatever you want. You could put your clock on time back to 2014. Yeah? And then, when you set the time on your phone, copy that same video that you made at the correct time and day, and then it would take the timestamp of the date you have on the phone. Then erase the original videos, and now you got 2 videos were made in 2014. It's that easy. So, they didn't listen to me. And then, all of a sudden now, the camera that was the main camera is not a camera. And I'm like, how could they stood up in court and say, well, it's not a camera? And over 200, they painstakingly, let me tell you something, all these documents I read, they look into the videos, there's no evidence of him assaulting his mom at any given time, or her assaulting him at any given time of the 220,000 videos. Yeah? They tried their best to find something. And the only thing they found is me arguing with my mom about a movie called The Grim, and the fact that I didn't say I miss you back when she said it to me. And you know, the weird thing is that all the things that me and my mom done together, all the things that the jury, because you know, I live in a generation where bad news and evil overtakes anything that's good. When we were kids, we used to watch news of, someone saved a cat from a tree. They don't, that's not interesting anymore. Anything that's good is very minimal. So, all the stuff I did with my mom was put in something called a grief act. A grief act is when the prosecution and defense say, well, this happened. There's no doubt about it, this happened. So by putting all the things that me and my mom done, taking her to the parlor, getting the toenails done, her hand, getting her, taking her to getting dressed in different restaurants and buying new clothes for her and doing all the things that I want to do with my mom before she forgets who I am, or before she leaves this planet. And then I did all of that was put in a grief fast and just read out to the jury in one go. Yes, he did this, that's it. But when it comes to the bad things now, that was like emphasized, that was like blown out of proportion. Well, his mom said to him, and she played the video, she played the audio recording. Your mom said to you 3 times she missed you, you didn't say it back to her. And I'm like, wait a minute. So all of a sudden you can cherry pick certain videos, and guess what? There were over 10 recordings that they played to the jury. Yeah?
You have less than 2 minutes. So time yourself. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. They replayed 10 minutes, 10 audios of negativity of me talking to mom or me being disrespectful at some point. I said, well, okay, I'm a dick sometimes. Yeah? And I did apologize to my mom because I knew when it was when I didn't listen to what she had to say or whatever I did that I find that was rude, I apologize. Yeah? But the judge even said that in the closing arguments. But it didn't matter because all the good stuff was read out to the jury in a brief moment and the jury didn't get to embrace. Well, here's me and my mom having dinner at TGI Friday so that I can break the news to her that she has to go to care home. Where, I mean, it was one point that it really hurt me. When I told mom she has to go to care home, she begged me not to put it home. I said, well, mom, I'm sorry, you have to go. And then she looked at me and said, you don't love me anymore. I said, mom, why would you say that? I'm like, wow. Because I won't put that, you know, and I keep telling her, no, mom, you're only going for 2 weeks. I'm not going to leave you there. But my family, the social services, and everyone was telling me, you know, you need to put her in a home. And I said, well, I'm going to do that. When my mom can't remember who I am, or she wakes up one day and she's afraid of me because I'm a stranger, then I'm going to put her in a home for care. Yeah, it's going to cut out now. I just heard the beep. So give me 10 more minutes and I'll call back.
Okay, all right.
Yeah?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Sherry Veronica, Naked Departure Radio.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.